A number of people have chosen this one as their favorite picture, not because they like spiders, but because it has such personality. So this little spider was running along on my mint, and he was just running up and back and down, and all of a sudden he sat down, he faced me, and then he dropped his leg down as if to say, what are you doing? And then he picked his leg back up and he ran away, just for one shot out of the 200 I shot of him I got with his leg hanging down. So it was a very quick shot, but I like it. I'm a biology teacher at Milton Academy, and one of the classes that I was teaching is called Advanced Biology, where we discuss diversity of organisms and development of animals. And as part of that class, I had them do a photography project. So the students had to go in their backyard, and or somewhere around school, and they had to document photographically at least 12 different species of invertebrates, things without bones, animals without bones. And so I always do an assignment before I give it to the students, so I did it, and I found out how much I loved it, and so I just kept doing it, and so for the last 4 years I've been taking photographs of insects and spiders in my backyard, very tiny garden, and that's what the show is about. So anybody can do this. Anybody can come look at the project, and I'll show them how to do it. It's the lens. It's called a macro lens. So if you just have a point and shoot camera, you could put it in macro mode, or if you actually have a camera that you can buy an interchangeable lens, you can buy a special macro lens. So you're getting really close. I figured out, based on a couple of years of doing this, that they would need about 30 minutes to find and identify one. So they had 6 hours to do the project. Loved it. They loved it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What was your favorite and their favorite insects or invertebrates?
I think some of the beetles, because they're so fascinating, such bright colors and fancy antennae, and just I hope that when people come look at the show, they realize that it's something that they can do, that they can actually go into their individual space wherever they live and whatever group of organisms they're interested in, whether it's ferns or birds or whatever, and just start learning who lives in their neighborhood. I love it every day, because every day is different. The kids walk in different every day, and so I have brand new students every year. So this is a grasshopper on my geranium. And he was actually munching along on the geranium plant, and I didn't get a great picture of it, but one of the others, he has this drop of red juice from the geranium petals dripping out of his mouth. It was really funny, so I've called this one Caught Red-Lipped. So this one is a close-up of just part of an insect. So this was a butterfly sitting on a tomato in a pot on my deck, and I couldn't get the whole butterfly showing because it was hidden behind the tomato plant. So I just did a close-up, and then I cropped it a little bit more because I thought it looked like two faces.
It looks like abstract art, doesn't it?
It does. This actually took me 2 summers to get. So the first summer I looked in a bucket on my back deck where the water had collected, and you're supposed to empty your buckets periodically so you're not breeding mosquitoes in your garden. And so I did that, and then I scooped some up in a glass jar, and I tried to shoot them through the jar, and I liked it, but because the jar was curved, I wasn't satisfied with the picture. So the following summer I did the same thing. I left the bucket out, and then I scooped them up and I put them in an aquarium which is flat-sided. And so I was able to get the little wigglers, the bigger wigglers, the larger wigglers, which are the larvae, then the pupal form, and then I waited and waited until one just came out, so this has just emerged. So this is the life cycle of mosquito. I was trained as a research scientist, and for several decades I did research in a lab and research in the field and prepared scientific publications. And as I got older, I realized that it was harder and harder to do that type of work. And so when I did this photography project with my students, I had so much fun doing it myself. I realized this is something I can do in my retirement. So it's part science, part art, and just so much fun.